behind why this cognitive process seemingly yields favorable outcomes on certain occasions. Commencing this exploration necessitates acknowledging the universal engagement in sporadic bouts of magical thinking. This mental exercise teeters on the edge of creativity and imagination, often innocuous and occasionally a source of solace. Engaging in fanciful daydreams remains a shared human joy, even when our musings venture into the realms of the impractical. On rare occasions, we might even entertain superstitions, albeit fully aware of their lack of rational foundation. However, the quandary arises when this very magical thinking morphs into a catalyst for unrealistic aspirations, or significantly hampers one's capacity for sound, logical decision-making. When it comes to narcissism, magical thinking boils down to believing something simply because it fits your own personal narrative, thoughts, feelings, or statements. This kind of thinking twists reality to uphold and maintain a sense of entitlement, uniqueness, and the expectation that everything should work out perfectly for oneself. Narcissistic individuals often display this type of thinking by seeing themselves as the center of the universe, special, and better than everyone else. They craft intricate fantasies about their success, power, and attractiveness, considering these fantasies as actual realities. The more they repeat these stories to themselves and others, the more real they seem. Moreover, those with narcissistic tendencies have a strong sense of entitlement. They feel they deserve special treatment and admiration without giving anything in return. Their needs and desires take priority over others, and they often value their opinions and feelings over actual facts. Furthermore, narcissistic people perceive themselves as flawless and perfect. To maintain this self-image, they tend to shift blame onto others for their own mistakes, flaws, or negative traits. It's common for them to accuse others of things they themselves do wrong. Narcissistic individuals often believe it's everyone else who lies, cheats, and acts like a narcissist. They can be quite difficult with inflexible arguments that don't consider other viewpoints. Instead of admitting they might be wrong, they twist reality to suit their narrative. Sometimes they pretend not to understand another person's viewpoint or become aggressive, issuing threats or insults to silence those who disagree with them. They believe if they can get others to be quiet, they've won the argument. Unfortunately, many lack self-awareness and may not see their own unreasonableness. Following the end of a relationship, some narcissistic individuals attempt to lure their partner back through hoovering. This might involve promising a better future or giving extravagant gifts. They genuinely believe that one generous act can erase all the pain they've caused, as if all the bad stuff has magically disappeared. It can frustrate them when this tactic fails. They might also try to harm someone's reputation or credibility out of vindictiveness. In their minds, they're not villains but victims turned heroes. They justify their actions, feeling morally immune. Fascinatingly, their penchant for fantastical ideation often seems remarkably effective. Certain individuals readily embrace their deceitful narratives and self-aggrandizing illusions, particularly at the outset. Some even actively collaborate, offering repeated opportunities for redemption. There exist individuals who provide a safety net when circumstances falter, reinforcing the conviction that fortune perpetually favors them. Their steadfast belief persists. They exist beyond regulations, perceiving reality through an exclusive lens. Even when confronted with the ramifications of their actions, they exhibit minimal inclination toward learning. They persist in upholding their fabrications and illusions, attributing any consequences to unfair persecution, envy, or personal animosity from others. In essence, numerous narcissistic personalities inhabit a realm of make-believe, crafting an image of themselves as influential and extraordinary. This fabricated world shields them from acknowledging accountability for their deeds and the ensuing aftermath. Additionally, these illusions serve as a barrier, deflecting feelings of inadequacy and disgrace. It's an intriguing facet of narcissism that many engage in behaviors that should elicit shame. And when exposed, they often intensify these actions to evade their own sense of shame. Narcissistic individuals harbor a conviction that by disregarding reality, they can somehow eradicate it. They ardently believe in the adage that repetition solidifies falsehoods, and they might counter opposing truths, viewpoints, or confrontations with denial, rationalization, or fury. Pinpointing whether they are deluded, in denial, or a blend of both poses a challenge. Individuals entwined in relationships or environments with narcissistic personalities often acquire adeptness in cautiously navigating to prevent triggering maladaptive defense mechanisms when confronted with reality. Owing to their dearth of introspection, many narcissists fail to fathom that their fantastical thinking engenders interpersonal strife, discord, and strained connections. They anticipate that others will mirror their self-perception and insist that the world conforms to their wishes. While creativity and imaginative cognition hold merit, striking a balance with analytical, evidence-grounded reasoning remains paramount in most spheres of life. Regrettably, narcissistic personas persist in upholding their illusions. In conclusion, consistent self-deception renders trusting or expecting honesty from such individuals an arduous endeavor. These musings delve into the realm of magical thinking within the context of narcissism. Yet myriad facets warrant exploration. If you harbor additional reflections or comments, please share them in the comments section below. Should you find this discourse intriguing, consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you for your attention. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our journey together. In today's discussion, we delve into the intriguing query: what inhibits narcissists from openly discussing their emotions? Why do these individuals prefer to shroud their feelings in secrecy, avoiding vocalizing their innermost sentiments? But before immersing ourselves in today's engaging episode, I encourage you to explore my latest literary creation. Remember, It's Not Your Fault, available on Amazon. This children's book serves as a guiding light, elucidating that children raised in toxic environments need not shoulder blame for their parents' actions or words. For those who've already embraced this invaluable resource, your support is immensely appreciated. Kindly consider leaving a 5-star review on Amazon. Now, let's delve into our focal subject. Understanding the reticence of narcissists when it comes to discussing their emotions can be traced to their perception of vulnerability as a sign of weakness. Expressing feelings is equated with vulnerability, a trait they strive to conceal. This emotional concealment often leads to an outward appearance of being emotionally distant, hindering healthy communication. Within narcissistic relationships, this emotional blockade is a recurring theme, stemming from past experiences that compel them to guard their emotions, forming an impenetrable barrier against vulnerability. Childhood encounters, such as emotional neglect, can erect these emotional barriers, creating difficulties in understanding and conveying emotions later in life. Reflecting on personal experiences, I encountered emotional neglect in my youth, resulting in an emotional fortress and difficulty in expressing emotions as an adult. Breaking down these patterns, developed possibly at the age of 30 or 38, proves challenging, tracing their origins being an integral part of understanding this intricate dynamic. For individuals dealing with narcissists or toxic personalities, this pattern resonates due to past emotional wounds that inhibit adult expression. Fear of appearing weak or being hurt due to emotional expression becomes the focal point. This apprehension restricts self-expression and hinders emotional openness. The dynamic with narcissists unfolds as a paradox. The closer one gets, the more susceptible they are to emotional harm. My vulnerability becomes exposed as you draw nearer, triggering a protective response. Despite this, the emotional shutdown isn't constant. At times, these barriers wane, perhaps influenced by substances or alcohol that lower inhibitions, allowing vulnerability to peek through. Emotions, albeit expressed differently, are present within narcissists, often emerging as secondary emotions, such as narcissistic rage, masking deeper feelings like fear or happiness. This intricate interplay between emotions adds complexity to their demeanor. Nevertheless, emotions, including rage, serve a purpose for narcissists. Rage, unlike excessive happiness, instills a sense of control and dominance, becoming a tool to manipulate situations. Control over others becomes attainable through instilling fear, leading to an inclination to express emotions beneficial to their agenda. In essence, it's not an incapability to express emotions, but a strategic choice. Vulnerability and emotional expression are perceived as weakening, undermining their self-image. Hence, it remains infrequent within the narcissistic sphere. The expression of emotions, particularly within narcissistic individuals, manifests in intriguing yet confounding ways. Rage emerges as the dominant emotion, often overshadowing any nuanced feelings such as happiness, joy, or love. This phenomenon isn't merely about vulnerability or negative emotions. It encompasses the entire emotional spectrum, tightly packed within an individual. Consider the analogy of a beautiful butterfly encased in a bottle. Initially, with the lid off, the butterfly thrives, free and vibrant. However, sealing the bottle impedes its existence, suffocating the delicate creature. Similarly, emotions trapped and suppressed meet a similar fate. When happiness, vulnerability, or sensitivities are stifled, they wither away, leaving behind a dormant spirit. Eventually, upon release, this restrained spirit emerges as unchecked anger, often forcibly unleashed. Communication among narcissistic individuals regarding their emotions remains scant. Their guarded nature shields them from feeling exposed or vulnerable to the world's perceived threats. This guardedness stems from the fear of being exploited or emotionally wounded, a defense mechanism cultivated over time. Navigating such relationships proves daunting, observing the reluctance to express emotions healthfully due to an overwhelming fear of pain, loss, or exploitation. Brief glimpses of vulnerability occasionally peek through the facade, but the toxic patterns remain deeply ingrained. Understanding this, one realizes the unlikelihood of significant change within these individuals. If their needs are currently met, the incentive to alter their mindset or lifestyle diminishes. Realism prevails over hope for transformation. As this discussion nears its end, a note of gratitude surfaces for those engaged in this conversation. Your presence is valued, and a gentle reminder follows. A recommendation to explore a children's book titled "Remember, It's Not Your Fault." This book seeks to instill in young minds the understanding that circumstances beyond their control shape their lives. It emphasizes the significance of boundaries and truth-telling. Available on Amazon, it's a poignant reminder. Remember, it's not your fault. In conclusion, peace prevails. Your engagement and support are deeply appreciated. Thank you for your attention, and until next time, mental